hit the record button and bring everybody. Is everybody like good and ready to go?
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. Who would like to give a recap for a point of inspiration?
Oh, you said recap. But
Yes, I did.
I'm ready for this. Give me a minute.
Okay,
Sorry, I zoned out again.
it happens.
Okay. I'm trying to see. I hope this is it. So, what I have in my notes is we started in the caves. We traveled through the caves until I believe Joran and I guess the gang started to hear a voice. And we were like, follow that voice. But apparently Joran recognized the voice and was talking to the voice and was like, hey voice, back the fuck up. As we proceeded to, just get closer to this voice. We found out it was Joran's mom's. Love that. Happy Pride. We tried to fight Joran's moms. Love that too. Happy Pride. Found out they weren't real. They simply were non-existent, and they were extensions of a goop monster. And then we ended up fighting a goop monster. I have here that Aura has a severe allergic reaction to shoving a scimitar in their gut.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, they started to expand. Oh, right. I forgot about the white viscous goo within the cave. The cum cave that we were in.
No.
Period.
Never escaping.
I'll never
Nope.
live it down.
Nope, you made a cum cave, and that's okay.
No.
Could have made it purple. Could have made it purple.
You could have said like a purple goo,
in the art, it's
orange,
white.
green. There are so many other colors.
In
But
the
no.
art, the size of Lex I was using is anyway. Continue with your recap.
So, yeah, Aura stabbed himself in the gut, started to expand and like bubble and boil, and that was fucking disgusting. Eventually the goop monster was killed, but then it kind of turned into a situation where we were like, shit, are we gonna have to kill Aura? Because, like, they had like a weird monster voice, and I've never met a good person with a monster voice, but apparently Aura was still good. They were truthful. They were just sucking up all the bad magic in the place, which we like. We don't like bad magic. We like good magic. During the fight, Shivers got mind juiced and forgot everyone. So that was a traumatic experience for them. That happened. We also got a crystal.
Mm-hmm.
We got a crystal. Filled with magic?
Potentially.
Filled with magic?
You don't know. Nobody's really taken a whole lot of time to investigate it. It looks kind of like if you had a bubble and you just froze it. It's got like little fractals and geometric lines and shapes over it. It's kind of almost like ice a little bit. But it's not cool to the touch. It's somewhat warm.
Period. And this part of my notes takes up 5 lines and is all caps with at least 4 exclamation marks next to it. Kieran smiled, baby. We got him to fucking smile. That was monumentous. That is the reason we leveled up. Getting Kieran to smile, that was the milestone.
Not the Ooblex. Not the Ooblex at all.
Nope.
No, not the dungeon
Getting-
you guys have been going through for the past few sessions.
Getting Kieran to smile, that was the milestone that leveled us up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end of my notes.
Not too bad. Just a few notes. Yes, so what happened with Aura is that Aura, revealed their true form as a, flesh sprite, connected with the leyline, and purged it of something that seemed to be corrupting it, something that had led to the development of these oozes. And they explained that it was kind of also what they were meant to do originally. As a sprite, that was their duty, was to take these kind of corrupted areas and turn them into regular. And of course, once the corruption was kind of drained away, Aura was reborn, and you guys were left with the crystallized what's the word? Remnant of the ley line. And as you guys were leaving, the magic that had reached pretty far up into the mine has receded greatly. What magic was there is almost kind of very faintly dormant. You guys were able to connect with it. That's where Kieran had the moment of hearing someone's singing voice far off. As it did, it sound for each of you that put your hands up against the cave walls, it sounded like very quiet, soft, beautiful vocal music. Choir singing in the background, where it had been this very discordant, atonal, harsh-sounding cacophony before. You guys have cleared it of whatever strange corruption it had led, and you guys did leave, and we're getting ready to rest for the evening, I believe. If there was anything you guys wanted to do, I will say that you guys are able to talk with some of the miners in the area, and they already have some guards set up. You guys can kind of camp out within the mining encampment where the others have kind of set up their camps. It's a relatively safe area. I mean, you're welcome to take watches if you would wish, but you don't necessarily have to.
Well,
The
Kieran would
areas.
probably still take, at least Kieran would take a watch. I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah, Joran probably would at some.
Okay. So we'll say first watch Kieran, second watch Jorn. Would anybody like to join them on the watches, or do solo watches?
Jasminder will join.
Yeah, Kieran was probably going to begrudgingly poke Jasminder after everybody went to sleep anyway, because he wants to give her the orb thing, crystal thingy.
Shivers will just chill out for the night.
Okay.
It was traumatic for Shivers.
Yeah, Shivers had a
Yeah.
Shivers had
Yeah,
a
I'll be fine. Don't
time.
worry about
Yeah,
it.
in that fight, Shivers got memory wiped, Jorn got her memory messed with. The two of you had a really rough day.
It's fine.
Is it though?
It's fine.
Absolutely.
Doubt. Anyway, yes, continue, Jasmine Kieran.
So about like 15 minutes into his watch, if Jasminder didn't just stay up, he would just like gently give her a shake on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, you got a minute?"
Oh, she was brushing her hair. Yeah, I can. I can. Yes.
Just wanted to. Then he goes into his bag and hands over the I guess is it the ball of magic?
It's like a...
You said it was like softball size and
Yeah.
like made of geometric patterns, but also like a bubble.
Mhm.
I mean, this is why you came here, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, welcome, West.
Oh, us? We just started.
Yeah.
Hey! Hello!
Welcome.
Kieran and Jasmine were talking about the little orb you guys found.
About the what?
The orb. The crystal.
I think Wes dipped out at that time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
There's a crystal of magic that Aura spit out
Yep, I
after he
shared
inhaled
the
the magic.
handout.
Have we pondered this orb?
We're about to
Yep.
Jasminder's about to ponder this orb, I think.
Perfect. All right, please continue.
Well, we came down here because we were kind of forced to by Victorie, but yes. The magic kept me down here, of course.
I mean, it certainly affected you, so I guess you should have it.
And Jasminder's still blue right now, right?
No, you have, since leaving the cave, she's gone back to the
Okay.
more humanoid appearance. There are a few more white streaks in your hair, though. A few that have just kind of remained.
If Jasminder takes the crystal from Kieran, does she still just be normal?
Yep.
Do we think there's still magic in this?
I mean, yeah, that's what Aura said, that they had crystalline. I don't know how magic works, Jasminder.
I don't know how it works either. We're holding it though. I'm holding it. I'm holding magic.
You are.
I can't hold this. She's just gonna hand it back to Kieran.
He just kind of fumbles it in his hand. What do you mean you can't hold it? You were like incredibly gung ho about this.
I am. I still want to know everything there is to know about the magic that was or is, or I love the magic. The magic is great. The magic is
it
wonderful. It's magical even.
is it great? You saw what it made.
There's good and bad to everything, no?
Well, I mean, yeah, but where is the good?
I've yet to see it, but that's only because this is the first time I'm happening upon magic. But I was blue.
You were blue, but until the very, very end there, it seemed like the magic wanted nothing but to eat us.
That was bad magic. There was also good magic for a little bit. Like, say, when you might have touched the wall after Aura took all the bad away.
I don't know what that was, but it was, I guess, a little special, but
It was good. There was good. You witnessed the good. I saw you witness the good.
not sure what you think you saw or even what I experienced, but I'm not sure it was magic, and I'm not even sure it was real.
You smiled. Now, I haven't known you for very long. In fact, I've known you for about 5 days now. But you've been kind of crotchety and slightly abrasive at times. But you smiled. You were all doom and gloom before then, but you smiled.
something happened pretty long time ago.
Something like.
I was in jail for a very long time, until very recently. Before that, I had a life that was taken from me. And, well, I learned very quickly that Zeth doesn't care about people. The world does not care about us. So I keep myself separate from it.
I'm sorry your life was taken from you.
Tonight, just now, I heard the voice that I haven't heard in the way I've heard it tonight in a very long time, so I don't know, it brought me back for a few minutes. Did you hear anything?
Hey, DM, did I hear anything? Because I myself do not remember.
You'd have heard just
I think I just heard like pretty sounds, right?
yeah, pretty singing.
Yeah.
It didn't really sound familiar at all or reminiscent of anyone that you've ever met.
I heard beauty.
Me too. He says he has a little bit of a wry smile.
Be smiling again. Let's go. Kieran,
Yeah?
I'm gonna hug you now.
I guess I don't have a say in this.
You do. You have the option. But you know, if you don't stop me, I'm going to hug you. And she's like slowly like moving into a hug.
He's not how would I stop you? I'm not gonna like.
You can say no. You can say no at any point.
He doesn't say anything.
Alright, she's just gonna hug him now.
He kind of stands there or sits there and takes it. Just...
You know, just like friendly pat on the back and the hug. And just like
He's incredibly tense. He has no idea what to do.
it's fine. It's fine. I like hugs. I feel like hugs are their own little form of magic. And I'm actually really excited for you right now, but I'm keeping it in. But I still think you should hold the crystal.
You sure?
I'm more scared that I might drop it or break it. That's a lot of responsibility that I don't think I'm quite ready for just yet.
Okay, I'll hold on to it for you.
Did you want to brush your hair?
I think I'm okay. Part of this whole deal is nobody looks at somebody that looks like me very closely.
You wear the hood a lot.
I do.
Traps a lot of sweat, can cause matted hair.
My hair was matted for a very long time. That bath that we had outside of this Overwatch's camp was my first in a very, very long time.
You know, I have some perfumes if you ever need it. I also have a brush, so just remember that.
I will. I will.
Okay. I'm gonna hug you again. And she hugs. I'm really happy for you.
During the hug, it's just like I heard my wife when you saw me smile. Puts the smile in air quotes.
I and Jasminder are bursting with happiness right now. Oh my god. Oh my god. You kind of you essentially hear her like kind of like a giggle is going to burst out and then it doesn't.
She's gone.
Oh,
And he just jiggles a bottle that he keeps on his person. When we first got into the cave, I heard her, and it wasn't her. It was something pretending to be her, drawing us in, which is why I wanted to leave.
you have braved so much. And it's obviously changed you a great deal. And I mean, did it take alcohol? Yes, but you know, little steps. You went deeper into the cave. Eventually, you didn't drink anymore. And then you got to hear her again, and you smiled, and
I went into the cave because I wasn't going to let you get yourself killed for pretty murk. That's all that woman is, right? That sent us here. Victorie, she's just a pretty mercenary who happened to get some power.
oh, was she pretty? I didn't notice.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I'll have to pay more attention next time.
Sorry. That one gave me a chuckle. I'm sure you will, Jasmine.
I told you before, you do a lot of really nice things. And you care a lot. And I like that about you.
Hey.
I really hope you'll do more nice things for lots of other people. And I really want you to be able to smile more.
Jasmine, make me a perception check.
Ooh, I'm good at these. Oh shit! I'm
You are
actually
good at that.
You are.
Someone see.
Kieran, where are you keeping the orb? Are you
He's
just
probably still holding it in his hand because they're in the middle of talking. He's not going to start rustling through his stuff.
You you see two very, very small little dancing lights kind of circle each other in the orb. And then they disappear.
We've had a long couple of days. Would you like a drink?
I'm sorry to say I think I drank most of your stash. Chasing after Shivers and watching Aura do whatever they were doing. There's not much in there anymore.
He shakes it next to his ear. Sounds like there's enough for a sip each.
Okay.
Ladies first.
Yep. She takes the teensiest sip. She feels so bad having taken so much of it already. She's just gonna do a little sippy sip and hand it back.
Kieran, just because he is the way he is, finishes it without thinking about it because, like, he doesn't know how to take a small sip.
She like lets it touch her lips. That's as small as she took. I'm gonna finish brushing my hair because you stopped me around about 35 strokes, and I do have to get to 50 before I go to bed.
Count the number of strokes.
Each side, yes. I still have the left side to do.
Mind if I sit with you while you do it?
Yeah, for sure. She just brushes her hair.
Kieran will sit quietly while she brushes her hair and keep an eye out to make sure that they're not attacked by starved miners.
Make a perception check.
You don't think they'd attack us, right?
No, definitely. You would get annihilated.
They're smarter than that.
I don't have advantage, so it's a 16. Advantage off from when I was playing with sharpshooter.
You do see one of the tents is a little more lively this evening. Seems like there's some drunken revelry going on the other side of camp. But other than that, you know, sounds of some celebration, some cheering, laughing. Night's
Do you think
relatively quiet.
Do you think they would party harder or not at all if they knew that there was a giant goop monster and multiple gelatinous cubes underneath them?
I think if you went over there and told them that, they wouldn't believe you.
You're right.
Alright. Unless there's anything else, you are able to finish your watch without any further interruptions or noise. It goes relatively peacefully.
I'll wake up. Jordan said she was going to take a watch, so we'll wake up Jordan.
And did anyone want to take a watch with Jordan?
Sure, I'll join in.
Alright.
Yeah, Joran gets woken up and she does intentionally kind of look for like a ledge or something around the area to kind of climb up and sit on while she's keeping an eye out.
It's kind of a layered quarry. You can definitely find a kind of higher ledge that kind of overlooks the rest of the mine.
Yeah, she doesn't try to go too high, just higher than where the party is currently resting.
I do think if she's up higher on the ledge, I do think Maisie will climb up at least for a bit. just call over like, you want to do this alone, or you up to talk?
Oh, you're already up here, aren't you?
Halfway. But yeah. I can't get back down if you don't want to.
I don't really care. It's up to you. You're awake.
Alright. You'll get on up. How successful that is, I don't know, but she'll get up there eventually.
If Turin does see her kind of like start to have trouble once she's kind of within reach, she'll try to reach down and pull her the rest of the way up.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, you got to get that far, but she'll help you in the last like 4 feet.
Thank you. Listen, you are a lot more athletic than I am. Ah.
This is a type brain for me, so.
I admit, part of why I came up, besides trying to make sure no one tries to go after us in the middle of the night, is just to see how you're feeling after all that.
Well, I don't appreciate cave fucking my head, but it's not really anything that I haven't laid to rest over time.
That's fair. You want to talk about anything, or are you good as it is?
I don't need to talk, but I have a feeling there's curiosity there.
Well, yeah. I have the cat, don't I? Look, gesture down the stitches in her coat.
Well, I try not to make assumptions about people based on the animal company they keep, because then it gets real awkward when people see the bird.
What's the stereotype on that?
I mean, he's carrion. He waits for people to kill things and he eats it.
Here I was gonna go
Usually-
with early bird.
I mean, he does what he wants. Follows along because he knows he gets free meals. I'm not sure he wakes up at a particularly early hour, though. He's probably looking for a rat or something.
I guess I just... Joking aside, Sure, yeah, I'll admit I'm curious. But I'm also... not really someone to pry into other person's personal business. A doctor, not a... She just taps her head. Not that kind of doctor.
Oh, I'm not sure I know what that kind of doctor is, but, yeah. Most of us have not great stories. It's not exactly a happy place to be around here.
I guess not. For all the barrenness of barren sands, something that's always had in plenty is grief and blood. If it could soak up well for the soil, it'd be more fertile than any place you'd see. Ain't the case.
The rest of the desert isn't much better.
Where are you from originally, if I can ask?
Everywhere. Didn't really have a set place until the watch found me, so pretty much everywhere, nowhere at the same time.
More of a wandering band?
Yeah, something like that. It was a long time ago. I've been with the Watch a long time and alone longer before that, so.
Ask what might be a personal question.
Oh, you can ask. I'm gonna promise an answer.
That's fine, that's fair. I mean, I know right now, more or less, we are settled with the Watch. But sounds like, or at least feels like, we're a little more free in a sense than we were before, at least how it sounds like you were before. Is that right?
Something like that.
What do you want to do, Joran?
What do you mean, like, back and report our investigation, or?
No, I mean you. What do you want to do? So far, it sounds like, most part, everyone else has been making decisions of what you're doing for you.
Well, I don't know. It's, I don't know. Like I said, I've been the Watch for, most of my adult life. All I've really known what to do is to go fight in their pit. I really see why that needs to change, other than them sending people in to kill me every once in a while now.
Yes. Have something right about that. This feels strange. Feels like most everyone here in this group, except for Shivers, of course, but I think his story's a little more hard to unfold right now. Everyone else has kind of had a choice in what they were before this whole mess. Feel the same for you.
Oh, that's just the way that things played out. I had a choice. I chose to take Sabine here, and that's how the rest of it unfolded.
And if you had a choice,
Probably would have told her to just stick to the fucking books and leave it alone, but, that's about it.
well, sentimental or mushy as it might sound, for the most part, it seems like we're all kind of in the same boat right now, in terms of getting stuck as we are. At the very least, I don't think you're as alone anymore. Better for worse.
Until we all split again, you all have things to go back to, so it's just the way things go.
Don't know. I mean, you've been in good company, so I don't know if splitting's really gonna be as easy as you make it sound. Especially if you got that horn lady, whatever her name, breathing down our necks.
She'll be distracted with this ley line short eternity until she picks another city to go walk around in.
Maybe so. Not sure. Doesn't seem like a woman who's easy to read the mind of. Then again, I don't really make it a habit to do that, especially for those folk. I just patch. But I think if you'd like, if you want to get out of that sort of life, we can find something.
I don't mind fighting. That's all that I've done. It's what I'm good at. I don't have anything else to do. Doesn't really matter much. If it wasn't the watch, it probably would have been the jackals. Or I don't know, they would have left me dead in a ditch somewhere. But fighting, I don't mind.
What about protecting?
I mean, it's hard to get any type of job where you're not the thing that people beat up upon. I don't look like you. I don't look like Shivers with the jackals. People don't look for people like me to be a bodyguard. They like us in the pit because they can take some frustration out on us.
Sounds like to me you've met some pretty small-minded folk.
That would be an understatement, yes.
I could diagnose them that way if you really want to rub it in their faces.
Oh, you could spend the rest of our lives traveling around the desert doing it to each and every person, so clear your schedule, I guess.
Well, according to Victorie, it sounds like it's pretty free right now. It's just an idea. I hear what you're getting at. You are good at fighting. I suppose I've seen enough people what throw their lives away for this sort of stuff. Hatched them or lost them in the process, trying one way or another. It just always feels like a waste every time. I don't want to see you go to waste, Jordan. I feel like you got more out there for you. You've done a pretty damn good job. Pardon my language, Biddy would kill me. A pretty fine job protecting us down there. Especially during a moment that was not exactly kind to you. Even if you were able to handle it fairly well. Of all things, it looks.
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew that place was doing something wasn't a problem. I don't know, I'm not gonna vanish in the middle of the night, which you're worried about.
You better not. I don't think Stitches would ever recover. Isn't that right?
Stitches pokes her head out of the coat. Which, actually, no, she's been out of the coat for a while now. I imagine she's actually curled up on Jordan's lap. Because you guys have just been kind of, like, just chilling, probably pretty still. Just kind of weave through the both of you and just start purring. Falling asleep.
That is exactly right, Stitches. See? She drives a hard bargain. You sure do.
I can't do a purring noise, but imagination.
Let me go grab my cat out.
Yeah.
Real sound effects.
Yeah, this is really just the world's most behaved cat. You go to move her and she just like baps you on the hand.
I ain't moving.
There. I got bigger claws than you do, little one.
Stitches. Now don't you go threatening people. I taught you better than that.
Her tail thumps a few times.
Language, young lady.
Don't worry, I've gotten worse for moss before.
I'm glad we have you, Joran.
Yeah, well, you guys would be the first.
Well, shoot, I'll take that damn honor then, if no one else was wise enough to.
Yeah.
You can see a little ways off. Osa's just kind of staring down Stitches. Just eyes locked in on this cat.
Joran catches it at some point and has that whole telepathic conversation with the bird of, don't you fucking think about it.
Fucking
Definitely.
Behave.
right now, and I'm gonna take that beak and turn it inside out.
He's definitely thinking about it. But under your orders, he will not. But it,
Joran
temptation.
loves Oz, but she is also not afraid to manhandle all, like, 5 foot whatever of the giant vulture.
oh, he definitely gives that sass right back. And see, like, kind of like scoots a little closer at like testing the waters to see what you'll do.
Joran kind of shows a few teeth. She doesn't growl, but she does definitely show some fangs to give him an idea not to try.
Yeah, that will get him to kind of like disgruntled. All right, fine.
Do I need to wrestle, Oz? Do I need to wrestle your bird?
No, he's just upset that he's not hunting. Find
Oh, so-
some small thing later that's not your pet to let him have. He did, he did do some work in the caves, and we didn't exactly give him time to eat down there, so
Kind of ruffles his feathers like, yeah, that's fucking right.
I don't think the others would have appreciated it if I let him stop and do his usual mealtime routine.
Well, I mean, I think most of them have seen enough at this point, especially considering the, scarlet bloom that we got to see back there with our new associate. Don't know much can top that.
Yeah, that was a new one. I'm not sure where to file that one away.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can't say I'm used to it, but I'm used to it. You know what I mean? Different wagon, same interior.
I think it would have been more surprising if we didn't spend half that trip through the cave hearing voices and seeing things, and whatever those things were with all the teeth.
Ugh. Ugh. I don't know why everything always gotta have too many teeth. Ugh. Too many molars.
It usually means that they eat meat, they need something to rip through it.
Stale. Ugh. Thanks for entertaining me. He's hearing me chatter too much.
Well, better than watching these miners like they're actually try something.
You really think that'd be that? Well, you know what? I take that back. I'm not even going to speak that into existence. That. Nope. Gone.
You guys can see from your perch, the tent kind of across the way that had the little gathering going on. You can see a couple stumble out of the tent and go off on their own, kind of entangled, very drunkenly. It does not look like either of them are sober, but
Happy Pride, y'all.
I didn't specify what gender they were. It's too far to tell. They're two vague shadows.
Those two vague shapes sure are, having a great night.
Well, we'll hope they have some fun and stay on their side of the mine. The drunk ones are the ones that I always worry about.
Yep. Half the time they are either the ones that I am treating, or they're the ones who make the ones I'm treating. Now, let's keep an eye out then, yeah?
Yeah. Should be quiet.
We both roll nat ones. It is not, in fact.
Say, yeah, go ahead and roll some perception rolls for me for your
let
guys'
me
watch.
flip it over.
Good luck!
Oh boy. Now that
Yeah!
you
Oh,
okay.
both of you pretty
17.
good. 17, 22. You guys do keep a kind of close eye on the... It's not, I wouldn't say it's so much as drunken revelry as like a group of like 5 friends got together to get drunk and play cards. Really loudly. But after a while, they're kind of on the other side of camp, and as long as you guys kind of stay on your side of camp, they don't seem to really mind all that much. They stay on their camp area.
Yeah, Jordan stays out of the way because she does not want to deal with a drunk person seeing her.
They're playing Dunes and Dragoons.
They're playing Dunes and Dragoons. Fuck. Well, it's canon now. I don't make the rules, except I kind of do. They're playing Dunes and Dragoons. That's perfect, actually.
I, as a player, love that. Joran probably hates the concept because she's sure there's probably some people like her that are like the stereotypical orc.
Oh,
Everyone runs around fighting hordes of.
probably. That's honestly, yeah. It probably is like the typical bad guys are the dragon people that you have to go fight the clans of, and it's definitely just kind of propaganda against Dragonborn.
I hope
Very.
they start like a normal campaign where they're all just human.
There you go.
Oh, that's too funny. Imagine a group with most of the party humans. Anyway,
No.
Oh my god, really? Disgusting.
That's what you gotta say there, guys.
I was gonna say, look at how many humans are in your party. Anyway,
Why do you do that?
the rest of your watch goes without a hitch. You guys wake up shivers for the next watch, or do you guys just kind of call it as you guys see by the end of your watch, the drunken people have gone to sleep and the night's pretty quiet.
Did Shivers express wanting to take a watch before we all kind of split up for the night?
Shivers didn't, but I didn't know we were supposed to have 3 watches. I just thought it was the 2.
I mean, we didn't
We
technically
don't
need
need
them.
to have it. We just did it.
Yeah, you guys are in a
no. Yeah, I don't
relatively-
think you would've said anything.
relatively safe area. You don't feel a
Yeah.
pressing need to, like, there are people that are kind of on watch. No pun intended.
Nay.
Yeah, I
Um,
would say in that case then, Jordan probably stayed awake as long as she felt she could have without it incurring exhaustion, and then she probably would have just gone to sleep, and now that it seems like the trouble's over, and let everyone else have the rest of the morning.
Not the traumatized rest.
Mhm.
Basically.
Joran deserves a nap.
One deserves a nap.
She really, yeah, let her sleep. But in the meantime, as you guys all hit the hay and take your respective rests, the camera's gonna pan out a little bit and zoom across the map a little ways as we focus in on a new individual, on kind of his own caravan. And Rook, if you want to go ahead and describe what's going on in your neck of the woods. What's up? Where are you?
Where am I?
Yeah.
I don't know where I am.
Oh, no, that's fair. I'll tell you. You're a few days outside of Barren Sands, traveling with your caravan on your way to your next job.
No, I need that. Rook, however, is looking at a map. Rook, being a sandy blonde-haired man dressed in colorful clothes, bardic attire. It looks like, specifically made for travel. But he's got several piercings, a couple in his lip and his brow and in his ears. But he seems kind of frustrated. He's looking at this map, and he turns it around one way and then the other way, and looks around the desert, and it's like, I can't tell for the life of me whether that rock is the one that I passed an hour ago, or if it's a new rock.
There are a few individuals traveling with you. Mostly just people that were looking to travel along the road but didn't want to do so alone. And you know by now it's safer to go in groups when traveling. And you see the other one, this kind of middle-aged, little older than middle-aged woman kind of comes up behind you and looks over your shoulder. I think you're supposed to hold it the other way. Yeah, turn it the other way.
It turns it the other way. This one?
I think so, yeah. So
Wait.
that rock looks familiar.
To the south?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
We'll get there, don't worry.
It was north.
No, I think that's a different city. I don't
Yeah,
think
no.
it's
I'm thinking you're right, but I don't know where my mind was. And he looks around with his map, and he's like, "Why do they not put a compass on this map?"
You can see at this point, a little kid kind of comes running up around right about 5 or 6. Kind of runs up and holds the mom's hand. Are we there yet? Is the colorful man taking us yet? Are we going?
I'll be there in a few days. Wait, was it a few days or a few hours?
Few days.
A few days. Okay, we'll be in there in a few days.
Ah,
Don't you worry. You want me to throw you a trick?
yeah.
All right. He looks to the mom, and he says, "Is it alright if I give him something too?"
Sure.
He takes out a little sack, a little bag, and he takes out a bunch of what look like marbles made of brass. And there's like 10 of them, and he throws one in the air, and he throws another, and then he catches the first, and he starts just adding more into the rotation until he's juggling a bunch of these brass marbles. And he says, "Now, how many do you think I have in the air?" And also, I'm going to do a little check to see. Will this be a performance or sleight of hand?
I would say sleight of hand, yeah, because it's juggling. That's a very dexterous thing. Oh no! Oh no! That natural one.
Aw.
You failed in front of a child. You're about to get fucking roasted.
I like to think that in this instance, it's not just that something he screws up in the juggling. it's something too where he throws one in the air, and as he's asking that, it comes down because he leans forward a little bit to talk to the kid, and just comes down and smacks him on the top of the head.
The kid immediately points and starts laughing.
And it's not just the one, because he had a bunch of them in the air, so it's like...
All of- The kid is just like side-splitting, laughing. Even Mom kind of gives it a lighthearted chuckle seeing her kid light up. But
Rook grins and he says, "Well, that wasn't really the trick, but I suppose it is funny anyway."
that was such a good trick. Do it again.
Rook will hold it in the air again. He'll just start trying to juggle a second time, and let's see. We'll see if he actually does it this time.
I believe in him. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So he starts juggling, and he gets like 10 of them in the air, and just starts juggling around. And he says, "So how many do you think I have in the air?"
50. No. 51.
51. And he like looks at the mom like, I don't know about
She
51.
like shrugs like I don't know, kids, man.
And he says, "Well, I'm not quite there yet, but I can try." And he starts taking more from the pallet in between juggling, and his hands are just moving faster and faster as he tries to keep up.
The kid's just clapping and kind of jumping excitedly.
I'm gonna do another sleight of hand check to see
Oh,
what
20!
how-
I will say, I mean, you can get up there. You can, maybe not to 51, but you can definitely do enough to impress the kid and make them think that, you know, it's 51. Yeah, definitely.
All right, and you know what you get for guessing correctly.
What'd I get?
And he stops juggling, and he goes to catch them all in just his hands, his two hands.
Whoa.
And with the little sack, and then he grabs he grabs like 51 of the little brass marbles, and he says, "51 brass marbles for you."
The kid just kind of beams at you and like takes it and like cradles it in like both hands, very precious. And like kind of looks to the mom like, "Is this okay?" And she kind of gives a nod, and the kid gives kind of a very like awkward bow, "Thank you, sir," and scampers off.
One of the fun things about performing for children, even when you screw up horribly, they always get a laugh out of it.
I don't think it mattered either way to him. He seemed to enjoy himself.
They're one of the easier crowds, please. Adults are a lot harder sometimes. But
That doesn't surprise me at all.
well, I suppose we could probably continue on, heading in the correct direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We should.
And he'll walk over to his axe beak, which is pulling the wagon, and just pat him on the side of the beak and say, "All right, Victor, let's get going again."
The Axbeak kind of gives a loud squawk.
He'll go over to the wagon and climb up, and he'll look to the other people in the caravan, and he'll say, "If anybody else wants to drive, I can play the lute while we're going."
Another man, kind of older, the father of the child will kind of give a nod, and I can go ahead and drive for a while. I think the music would do us some good.
If you all don't mind, I'm going to play something that's not really complete. It's a fragment of a song that I found in my travels, and I'm trying to piece together how I can finish it. And he'll just start playing with the actual like trinket that he got, which is just pages of parchment with just musical notes on it that are just a fragment of a really beautiful song.
Yeah, it's lovely. Makes for lovely company while you travel.
I meant to do a performance. It's the same item.
It's okay. Yeah, it's still a good enough role that it goes very well, and you keep pretty much everyone on the trip rather entertained and pretty content. You continue to make your way towards Barren Sands, and then
one of the things that I want to make note of while he's going is it might be hard for these people to pick up on just being like your average common person, But the entire time that Rook is playing and juggling and messing around and everything, talking to the people, he's always wary of everything around, like the surroundings, the desert around them. He's always kind of on the lookout, having an eye out to make sure no one or nothing is coming up on us.
Yeah, I mean, the roads are typically very dangerous. But you are on one of the main trade roads, that kind of goes close to the coast. It's it's a lot safer than if you were to take some of the smaller roads or go off-road. They're pretty well maintained, and you're in the kind of last stretch where you do run into a lot of Silver Watch patrols, just kind of keeping some peace and order along. But yeah, good to know. You definitely are keeping a good eye out.
Yeah.
All right, and for the final part of the evening, Shivers, you were asleep.
I'm asleep.
You've had a rather turbulent day. From the rather eventful losing your memories again, and then having some of them come back, it's definitely left you in a little bit of turmoil. By now, all of your more recent memories of the party have returned, but you're still thinking on Tusk. It's been a few days, but as you sleep that night, you get just a small hint of kind of hazy, faded scene. The room you see yourself in, it's not a room you can ever remember being in. You try and focus on the details, and it's like the closer you look, the farther away they get. And you see there's another figure in the room, the figure of Tusk, with a couple of scars, and looking just generally a little bit brighter than when you ran into him in the mine. And you gather this is a conversation. You feel familiar with him. It isn't like before where he was as a stranger to you. You have a kind of sense of warmth in your chest of, this is family. He's my family, of course. And you can see, despite the kind of brightness to his appearance, he looks very troubled. You can see there's kind of a furrow in his brow. He's standing over a table and kind of moving something into a sack. And he looks across the table and gives you a very serious look. Shivers, Look, the others didn't want to bring this up to you, but I had to say something. You have a problem. We're worried about you. We're really, really worried.
Am I oh shit, am I responding?
Yes, you can.
Oh fuck. Sivers will probably just laugh, shake his head. You really gonna bring this up now?
I am. I couldn't think of... When else could I have brought this up? I needed to say something. I'm worried about you. And I say this as your brother, Shivers.
Shivers might laugh a little bit, not like very loudly, but just kind of like, you know how sometimes you like let out breath in a chuckle, you know?
Like
But,
a hollow
chuckle.
laugh?
Yeah, but he will turn away. He will not look at him. Look, don't even worry about it, alright? I'm fine. Everything's fine.
It's not. Shivers. Please. He kind of reaches over and puts He comes around on the other side of the table and puts a hand on your shoulder. Shivers, when was the last time you went a full day without it? Just one day.
Whenever I want. I don't know. What's it matter? What's it matter to you? He like removes his hand from his shoulder, not forcefully, just
Yeah.
moves it.
He,
We're living all right.
He kind of looks a little... You see a little bit of hurt behind his gaze at that. I'm worried about you, Shivers. You're not... You haven't been yourself. Look, we didn't want to say anything. Some of the group, every now and then, it's fine, but... Shivers, you're doing this a lot. We just don't want anything to happen to you. We want you to be okay and safe.
Nothing's happening to me. Am I dead? Did I die?
No, we just don't want to see that happen to you. Just... Can you try to go without it for a day? One day.
Shivers like looks away from him. Is like toiling it over in his head. Yeah, fine.
Okay. That's... good. I'm glad to hear it. You can see he kind of picks up something off of the ground. Seems to be a sack of something. Kind of throws it over his shoulder. Besides, we have a job to do tonight, and... I mean, come on. It's not like Promise will be very impressed if you just go out there while you're high. We're gonna do our best, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, it's in the sack anyway.
Wouldn't you like to know? He kind of grins and starts heading for the door.
Shivers will probably just grab his sword, just go.
The scene shifts as the two of you head out, and you get it gets very dark. The walls come into view for just a moment, and as this clarity kind of hits you, you see trinkets. Unfamiliar trinkets. A living space. You don't quite remember. See several beds, not just one. Not just one belonging to you. But about the size of a family. And the walls fall away, and you see an endless expanse of ocean. You look over, and you see an individual with very dark feathers, pronounced beak, Kenku, sitting beside you. Just in kind of quiet, contemplative silence. You can see several ships kind of off on the horizon, coming into dock for the evening. When are you coming back?
What'd you say?
When are you coming back?
What are you talking about?
Talking about?
I'm right here.
You. And you notice Tusk's voice come from this individual. We need you.
Where do you need me? What do you need me for?
Family.
I think he looks like around, confused.
Yeah, you don't recognize this individual. They don't look like anyone you've ever seen. Whatever memory might be associated with this person, it's a complete blank slate.
I'm sorry, but do I know you even?
Know you. Once. And the avian individual just kind of looks away, shoulders kind of falling a little bit. You kind of read this as they're very disappointed in the answer. And their form kind of falls away, and it's just you staring out at the ocean with an undescribably blank feeling in your memory. Like deja vu. You know you've been here before. You know that somewhere you've experienced this before, but you don't remember. And that's your dream for the rest of the night, is sitting there on the edge of this coastline alone, staring out at the ocean. As you awake the next morning, everyone awakes the next morning, just in the outside of the miners' camp, feeling as rejuvenated as you can be.
Jasmine immediately starts brushing her hair again. 50 on the left side, 50 on the right side.
Shivers will probably go on a little jaunt. Not like a jog, but just a walk. This mining place, if I recall the map of the mining place, it's like a circle. There's like a circle.
Yeah,
that
it's
goes
a
up and
circular
down.
quarry with layers, kind of
Yeah.
going down until you hit the entry to the mine.
Yeah, he's just gonna walk that, I think. He'll go to the top of it and just sort of have a nice, maybe armor off for a minute. Just have a nice walk.
Easy
know.
enough.
Gotta let the skin breathe in the terrible fucking hot ass desert.
Yeah.
It's okay. He's a hobgoblin. I don't think they can get sunburned.
If they can, you're not aware
We'll
of
find
it.
out.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Interesting point I haven't quite thought about yet, but we'll find out.
I think Shivers even knows that the sun can burn things.
Nope.
Nobody tell him that. That's gotta be really scary.
He just comes back amazing. He's like, oh god damn!
Cover up.
We considered Shivers' scabbard a biohazard and chucked that, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
still
yeah.
down there. As far as I'm aware, there was no conversation about picking it back up. It's still down there.
Double checking.
It's gone forever.
We'll get
He
you
just
a
put
new
it.
one.
He just put it in the sand. The sword. He just like stuck it in the sand while he's walking.
Amazing. Yeah. Your sword's in the sand now.
Good.
Sword in the sand.
Mm-hmm. What's
Become Lord of the Dunes.
this universe's
We-
version of Sword in the Stone?
We should probably get back, yeah?
We kind of need a plan here, right? Like, I don't remember if we said we're gonna tell Victorie about what the fuck. Oh, I'm sorry, my language. What we
Alright,
just
it's fine.
experienced.
I mean, I saw everything we saw. And I'm still not sure I would believe it if somebody told me it.
What if we just say we came down here and there were just monsters? We don't say anything about the magic?
Whatever you tell her, you should assume she's gonna send people after us to check.
And she's had, what, like 3 days with Sabine around, probably talking nonstop about how she made lights with her hands.
Okay, so we say there was a little bit of magic?
Why lie? I'm not sure it's safe for Victorie to have access to magic, but Jordan's right. She's just gonna send somebody else to check up on us.
Listen. Regardless of whether or not we tell the full-fledged beat by beat truth to Victorie. Either way, she's gonna. It's as Siren said. She's gonna send people out here,
Okay, so
whether she knows.
we tell the truth that the Under the Mines is flooded with magic. Just magic all over the place. So much magic you can barely you can't fathom how much magic there is. Is
And
that
monsters.
what we're telling?
I vote we tell her that the magic breeds monsters, and it's best to be avoided, especially for regular people.
And the crystal, we're
What
not
do you-
telling her about that, right?
Well, Crystal.
Exactly.
We can. She asked us to go in there and just find out what was going on and if there was magic. We did that. We tell her there's magic.
I vote we
End of
tell
our
her
job.
there's monsters too.
We can do that. I'm
uh,
just saying, like, let's not go into crazy detail on
Magic
the
monster.
rest.
It was a yes or no question. I just need to tell her yes and let her figure out the rest of it.
Well, on the
The
off
monsters
chance,
too. It's-
yeah, on the off chance that the monsters might keep her away or from sending too many people down there. But
We
I
tell
think
her that it's a terrible monster that will pull your deepest, darkest fears out of your head and manifest it in front of you.
or that the magic breeds monsters. We took care of the monsters while we were down there, but we can't guarantee that they're gone forever.
That works. What do you guys think? Oh, Chippers and Joran.
I think Shivers was walking around the mine up top.
Oh, is he
Time.
still
Shivers is running.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know if he was back yet. Okay.
Just keep it simple. She asked us to see if there was magic in it. Just that we encountered monsters and magic, and if she decides to send people after, that's kind of not something that we can stop. We'll get lucky and the jackals are back with another force to reoccupy the mine once we leave, and they'll be too busy fighting each other to deal with anything inside.
Well, I'm kind of excited to get back.
To the base camp.
I'm more excited to get back to Barren Sands because it's close to water and just slightly cooler.
I need to just see how friggin' Biddy's doing. I'm excited.
What's a biddy?
My assistant. Or I guess my apprentice is a better term.
I just know the priestess is not. She's got to be worried. Oh no! What if I made her worry?
Let's head back. The sooner we get back to Victorie, the sooner we can go back to our lives.
Sure.
You guys heading out then?
Yep.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
It is going to be about, let's see, half a day's travel back to the base camp. That's not too bad. So, you guys can go ahead and roll a perception check if you'd like. You guys are just going on foot.
Is this
For
appropriate
anyone-
drone time?
Aw, man, I wanted to fly.
Is it? I mean, I don't know. That's a great question. Is it appropriate stream time?
I don't know.
That is a 13 for Kieran.
Okay.
That's
17 for me.
For a
Ooh,
total of
220.
20.
9
Damn,
for
look
me.
at us.
Alright, well, you guys are in luck. It is a relatively quiet trip back. Aura is no longer with you. Aura had left the night before, in their new form, to go off and explore the world. So it is just the 5 of you making that trip, but it's not too difficult for you guys to make your way back. You remember the way, it was just a few days. I guess a day out, 2 days out from when you guys had originally left. So you guys go ahead and make your way. I don't have the map in the Roll20, but I do have the base camp map in the lore channel that you guys can take a peek at. You guys are coming in on the left side. You kind of have to traverse the whole camp to get over to where you know Victorie's tent is. But the camp is at your guys' disposal. So, what you guys doing?
Do we tell Victory and then take a bath, or bath and tell? I really want a bath.
She might just insist that you do it beforehand anyway. She's kind of particular like that.
I was about to ask and what you think she would do.
I was gonna say out of character, because Shivers wouldn't care, but out of character, the guard did lead us to the bath before we went to talk to Victory.
Yeah, let's just go to Victory's
true,
tent
she's-
if we get
She's
sent
peculiar.
if we get sent to the bath, we go take a bath, but Kieran is going to just beeline it towards Victory's tent.
Okay.
I remember that. She was very peculiar. She liked us clean
You-
before we went in the tent.
You do remember that, and you would have noticed in her kind of camp, everything was immaculately clean and organized.
Shoot, I wish I could have that for my clinic. It would go a lot better.
So, Kieran, are you going even if the rest of your party isn't?
I'm following Kieran.
Yeah, I think if
Gonna
Kieran
follow
takes
him
off,
anyway.
we're going that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Shivers will just follow.
Shivers, if she knew about your scabbard.
She did let him in there before with that scabbard, by the way.
There was
It was
a
in there.
sword in there, so it really wasn't exposed. But if she knew, then that would have been a different story.
So if we ever need to be petty with her, we just go back to the mine to get your nasty ass scabbard, and we'll sneak it in here.
And then just put it under her chair.
Leave it on the table.
We actually just gassed the entire camp with the scabbard.
God.
Oh god.
Shivers, when we get you a new one, disregard everything you were told about keeping your sword clean.
God. Yeah, no, you guys kind of traverse the lifting platforms again and are able to make your way to her tent, where there are guards outside, different ones than the ones you saw before, but they're just different rotation this day. They kind of give you a look over. You have business then.
Nobody
Yeah.
else up here and gives a nod.
One of the guards heads inside, and is gone for about half a minute, comes back out and kind of gives the other guard a nod, and they let you pass. You guys go inside, and you can see there is no Sabine, but you can see it looks like not quite conversation, but you can see Victory has some papers, kind of maps strewn out, not far from where she's sitting. You can see Asher is in the corner, kind of just standing guard, keeping a very close eye on you guys. And the lore keeper from last time is kind of fiercely writing down notes and is kind of placing more papers in the pile that's kind of near Victory. But she looks up as you guys approach. Ah, so you made it back then. Wonderful. Well, tell me everything. What did you hear? What did you see? How is this lovely mine? It is now ours, I trust? Oh, come now, don't be shy. Not all of you at once.
Kieran looks around for anybody else to speak up.
Maisie, I was gonna say I don't know. Maisie will step up.
Shivers ain't saying shit.
Yeah, we saw your mine. It's
Josh, we
free
go
of
to the
jackals
back
at the
again.
moment. And it does have magic and monsters too.
And the monsters, I trust that they've been dealt with?
They've been dealt with, but according to what we've seen, it looks like some of them are coming from your magical vein. Potentially.
Yeah, looks like where magic goes, monsters follow. Or magic produces monsters. One of the two.
It's rather
Not
unfortunate, but I suppose that does make sense. Tell me though, what of these, intrusive little jackals? Did you take care of them as well? Brutally, I trust?
We took care of them. What are you expecting us to do? Look them up like fish?
Keep them away from the mine, keep them from coming back. They do have a habit of, persistence. I find rather irritable sometimes.
The bird ate a man's face off.
She kind of looks curiously, and then she sees, is Oz on your shoulder, Jordan? Or is Oz just kind of doing the rounds of
Would the
up in the sky?
guards have let her through with them perched on her
Probably
shoulder?
not.
Then probably not.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, but no, she does look to you, Jordan. If I recall, you had one of those rather vicious birds of yours, right? That is not just a random bird preying on people, I would hope. And that does bring a few more concerns. I'll have to increase security there.
We did say they were monsters, didn't we?
You did, and I'll likely be enforcing the security there regardless, but I'd like to know what these monsters were that you speak of. Any details that you can give me would be much appreciated.
Well, there is one that is sworn to kill anybody that's ever killed a child, so you might want to be careful about who you send there.
There's the big ones that kind of burn your flesh off.
There's
I'm
one that
sorry?
will also... Sorry, go ahead.
Just burn your flesh off. Now, how are we talking burning? Are the dragons from the east, or more of an acidic poison? What kind of...
That second one.
It's a cube that you can't see, and it burns.
Right.
Shivers is like nodding because he was in it and it did burn.
We might actually have some recover on acid marks, to be honest.
Yeah. Jasmine just kind of like shows her arms, like.
Ah. I see.
Burn.
Understandable. Well, as unfortunate as that is, we'll have to see if we can't recover anything from that. Yeah. Poison is useful to have nowadays.
Yeah, there's, have you ever heard of NKEGs?
Heard of them, haven't fought them personally, but we've had an issue with some of them in the past.
There's a nest somewhere in or near the cave. We took
Whole
care
nest.
of a couple, but there's a very real chance, again, that they'll return.
That is likely. Rather troublesome, those. But those we can handle, as well as... I can't say we've really encountered ooze-like beings before, as you described, but we'll figure something out. Is that all, then? But you say you found this magic. Did you find anything of note there? Anything to prove Sabine's theory?
we got to the monster that turns into your loved ones and then tries to eat you, and things got a little dicey from there.
Are you sure there weren't hallucinogenic aspects to this? I mean, it sounds
I
like
don't
you
know, it
were...
looked real good.
There's a non-zero chance of that, but it would have to have been a complete group hallucination. I'm sure you've spoken to this girl, Sabine, over the last couple days. She probably described touching the wall and hearing things or being able to produce things. That's
Yes,
what
that's...
happened for us.
Azure kind of pipes up. Yeah, that's all she's been able to talk about.
Keep your daughter away from there, please. It's very dangerous down there.
He kind of regards you with a bit of understanding. That's what I've been trying since the beginning. I had my doubts. Figured it was just far too dangerous, and she is not a fighter. So. Victorie kind of regards each of you. Is that all, then?
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Wanted us to
Shivers
check
is-
in on it. We told you details of all the crap we found down there.
Mm-hmm.
Shivers is slowly raising his hand.
Yes. You in the back there.
Can I have my dossier now, please?
Ah, yes. Believe I have that somewhere. And she kind of looks to the elderly elven individual who kind of flips through a book, puts that book down, kind of goes through several more files before kind of finally finding something and handing it to Victorie. Right. I'm afraid I can't give you the actual copy of it, but what information would you like to know? We have to keep it for our own records, I'm sure you understand. Can't just give away sensitive information like this.
Does it say where I used to live in there?
Not where you used to live, but it seems as though the incident happened rather close to Barren Sands.
Right. Does it mention anyone else?
A few individuals, yes. An accomplice. Looks like no name was given, but was a rather burly half-orc individual. Rather prominent tusks. Let's see.
Alright.
There was no... Well, does look like there is another accomplice of yours, but it looks like they were killed. Tiefling. We don't have the name, but she, sorry, not a tiefling. That is my bad. She would have said a drow. A drow individual, kind of long white hair, rather rugged looking. Uses a sword not unlike yours. But they
Shivers
were,
is just standing there thinking.
says here that they were killed. In the scuffle. And then after the individual was killed, it got quite violent, leading to the deaths of 19 Silver Watch members.
Sorry about that. I guess I was angry.
I would imagine so.
Do you know where I can get a scabbard?
She blinks in confusion. We have a blacksmith here for provisions if you're needing any kind of supplies.
Yeah, I need a new one. But that's it. Thank you.
Lady Victorie,
Hmm.
I have a question.
I might have an answer.
You can't give us Shivers' file, but would you be opposed to letting us or having someone make a copy of said file?
kind of bites her cheek and her tail kind of... She's seated on this kind of almost like Jarl's chair. She's not sitting in it properly. She's kind of draped over it. Her tail is across one side and kind of idly swishing back and forth. You see, that is quite the tall ask. I don't usually do that for even rather trusted individuals. But I think we can work out some kind of arrangement if our interests continue to align and we continue to have a mutually beneficial agreement. I do have more work for you, should you desire.
Deal was we check out your mind and we get to go in our separate ways.
Yes, well, you may, but wouldn't it just be so wonderful? And I assure you, any work that you do for us from this point on, you would be fairly compensated for your work. And from the sound of it, most of you are from Barren Sands, and you will be likely heading in that direction. That's where my job offer is. Do you agree?
I mean, I'm going back to Barren Sands. I was gonna ask if these guys wanted to come with, because, you know, traveling groups and such. What is your job offer?
Well, I will let Asher explain. I believe this is more his purview. And she kind of gestures and he takes a step forward. Right. Few points of business first. Joran, I've been informed of your situation. I've looked into the matter. And, I was admittedly unaware of the rather brutal manner in which you were treated by Theragar. I run a tight ship, but that is not how I run things, and he has been exiled. Should you choose to continue work with us, you won't ever have to work with him. But the job is, what Victorie didn't say, it's a rather personal matter. One I think that you'll agree to. My daughter wishes to go spend time with her mother in Barren Sands. I have to stay here. I have some rather important business to take care of for Victorie. As much as it pains me, I can't keep watch over her, so I need a group of individuals who are proven in combat to watch her back. And while I have my own personal reservations, she speaks incredibly highly of you. So your mission would be to take Sabine and see that she safely arrives in Barren Sands to be with her mother.
She's talking to you.
Yeah, she's talking to, well, yeah, Jordan, not just the group.
I mean, Jordan's gonna look to the rest of them. She's already gotten the shit for one babysitting mission.
I mean, Sabine seems like a very sweet young lady. I don't have a problem with taking her to Barren Sands. I have to go there anyways, so...
That was where we arrested most of you.
That's not fair.
I recognize it. Listen, we have our reasons to be suspicious, overly suspicious. You've more than proven yourselves time and time again. He says the last part kind of like he doesn't really mean it. He's just saying it to say it and try and get you guys to do this.
What do you think, Maisie? You think we can handle taking care of a 19-year-old for 2 days?
18.
She's basically an adult.
She's
He
nowhere near
glares at
adult.
you. You
Let me
get
ask this.
you get daggers.
Let me ask you this question. It's real important, so you gotta be honest with me.
He gives a nod.
Is this gonna be a situation where I wish I had a leash?
He gives a very long, tired sigh. The kind of sigh that Karen you know intimately well.
That is a yes.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. Alright, listen, if I at least know going in, then yes, we can handle it. I'll just put a bell on her.
Do what you have to. She's fine. She's fine. You just keep her safe.
She's 18.
Yes. Kind of rubs under his eyes like and meanwhile during all of this Victor's just kind of had an amused smile. Just kind of gives you all a very, very sweet saccharine smile in return. So is that a deal then?
And if we do this, do I get to copy a page of the file?
I can see about arranging that, yes. I don't wish to just give sensitive information away to just anybody, you see. We have to
Even the
establish
person-
a trust.
Yeah, okay.
She gives you a, that kind of sweet smile. She focuses it specifically on you a moment, Jasmine.
No, she doesn't need to. She can just.
She does.
She can look anywhere else.
Uh-huh. But she's giving it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
make your travel plans with, Sabine. I believe she's wandering somewhere around gathering supplies to travel. Sometime soon, I imagine you'll probably head out, sometime in the morning. It's already well past the afternoon, so... And it's about, like, 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, so you guys would know. It's a several-day journey, but probably safest to head out in the morning.
Good plan.
Alright.
Jasminder's going to take a bath, baby.
Alright, yeah, you guys are dismissed from Victorie's tent, unless you have any further questions.
Nah, Shivers is just gonna go get his scabbard. They didn't mention what way the blacksmith was, so he's just going to walk into the closest tent he sees, and then probably ask for directions.
You walk into the tent and you see, God, what do you see? That's a great question. You see actually a cook. You see somebody preparing a nice meal, and they have, like, they're, like, going through, like, kind of carving up a nice, like, chunk of meat, and they turn to you with a bloody butcher knife and just kind of stare at you as you ask where you can get a scabbard. It's this rather, like, tall, burly, mostly human individual, just kind of staring you down.
If Shivers asked, he's just gonna stand there until he gets an answer. Like, maybe the guy has to think about where the scabbard is. I don't know.
Looks like genuinely confused a moment, like, who the fuck? Where did you come from? Like, points the knife at you and says, out.
Well, I was just out there.
Out.
I didn't see a scabbard nowhere out
They're
there.
walking towards you with the knife.
Go on, get.
They're trying
Are
to
you
get
alright?
What part of out don't you understand? You stupid or something?
No, there just wasn't a scabbard out there. I need to know where to get one.
Go to the fucking provisioners. They have shit. You're not gonna find it in here. Now get out.
Yeah, servers will get out and then go to the next closest tent.
Oh my god. Someone gonna stop it?
Yeah, are we all with him?
Kieran just grabs somebody walking around the camp. Hey man, where's the provisions tent? We need
Jordan's
to.
from here.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Show you where it is. No one's asked her. She doesn't know what Shivers is looking for.
The person that Kieran grabs can just be Jordan.
Yeah,
that's-
Jordan, do you know where the provisions tent is? I need to get some arrows and
Yeah,
a
why
leash.
he's walking into random people's tents.
And yes, you can lead them to the provisions tent,
Yes,
Jordan.
let's go. Let's go.
Can we just get the provisions to like grab 20 arrows and a scabbard for Shivers?
Yes, let me see the price real quick.
You're not gonna find a price for a scabbard.
I know, I'm make it up.
Half the price of a longsword.
What's the
Great sword? Great sword.
The last time I spent money, I spent all of it, so I could just spend all of it again on the scabbard.
Please don't.
20 gold and 10 silver pieces.
Kieran, please.
Okay, I'm looking at it.
Kieran
I'm
is
gonna do the math
tired
here.
of looking after Shivers. If he wants to spend all his money on a scabbard, he's more than welcome to.
I can't help that the El Pastor man said go to the provisions tent to the man who doesn't know how to fucking eat. I don't know.
It's okay, because if Jordan sees him just hand over, like, literally his entire coin purse, she is just gonna, like, bare some teeth at the provisioner to make sure he just takes what he needs from it and gives
Oh,
the rest back.
You are charged 25 gold pieces for the scabbard and 20 arrows.
That's... Kieran gives over 2 gold. Kieran gives over 2 gold for the 20 arrows, because he knows how much 20 arrows cost.
The person looks to Shivers. And again looks to Kieran. 3 gold.
He just gives over the 3rd gold.
Looking at Shivers. Just continued eye contact. Palm extended.
Oh, for the fucking
Mhm.
scabbard. How much was the scabbard?
I guess after the 3 gold for Kieran's arrows, 22 gold.
Ew.
Yep. You're getting upcharged.
I don't even have 20 gold. I have 20
Yeah,
gold and
upcharged
I don't
by a
even have 22
mile.
gold. I have 20 gold and 10 silver pieces.
Gold.
Sorry, I don't have that. Thank you, though.
What kind of leather is that it's worth over 20 gold?
Make an intimidation check, Joran. Because you're Joran. And you are
Hell yeah.
looming over
That is
this. Holy
20.
shit! Is that with your strength though? Because we make intimidation with strength in
No,
this game.
that is actually with my charisma.
I feel like a 20 is
Holy
still
shit.
probably
Yeah,
good enough.
Oh, it is! I'm just curious how
Yeah.
high it gets.
Since I have proficiency, it would actually be a +7.
Holy shit, so that's a 23?
Yeah, it would be a 23.
So yeah, with the 23, sorry, what did you argue for a specific price or?
No, she just asked him what kind of leather it was that he was charging that much for. So it was like it was around a little under 25, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think he said it
Kind
was
of,
22 specifically.
yeah, 22. Being kind of heckled back, looks back to Shivers. 20 gold.
But I thought you just said it was 22.
Give him the 20 gold, Shivers.
Those who are a
Shivers
little
will
extra
just-
perceptive and up close can see a few beads of sweat forming on his forehead.
Shivers will just hand him the 20 gold.
Takes it and hands over the scabbard.
Thank you.
Yep. The person is standing as far from Joran as the counter will allow. And there's definitely just beads of sweat down the forehead. Is very carefully just watches you all to exit. Like, please let them leave, please let them leave.
Before they exit, Shivers looks at him and it's like, "Did you hear Miss Joran's question?"
He gave you an answer, Shivers.
Coyote leather. Takes a few days to cure.
Alright. He just wanted to know.
The second
Sweet.
that you
How's it
leave, you
smell?
hear
Is
a...
it a good smelling scabbard?
Yeah, it smells nice, like
yeah.
freshly cured leather.
Shivers will try to attain this same smell forever.
Better clean your sword, buddy. That's all I gotta say.
Just go throw it in the bath.
Is anybody going with Jasminder to the baths?
No. Kieran is ready to just relax for a day and get on the road back to Barren Sands.
I imagine they like split up to do this. It's kind of what I'm imagining.
Yeah,
Mhm.
me too.
Yeah.
I'll take a bath. Why not? I got sand in places that I want sand.
Yep. You also still got like a little bit of that like ooze feeling, that like sulfurous smell. It's definitely not super pleasant.
I forgot it smelled like sulfur.
It did. You guys have kind of smelled a little bit like sulfur for the past few days. Or the
Hell
past
yeah.
day, I suppose.
Shivers probably won't go to the bath. He'll just sort of tail whoever the fuck is walking with the most purpose.
It's a good question. So it's Jasminder, Shivers, and Maisie going to the bath?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Yeah, you guys are able to go to the same place as earlier. There's a guard standing watch, but you are easily able to convince him to let you go to the baths.
Shivers is going to wash his sword in the bath.
Do you do that around your friends who are trying to clean themselves, or in a like separate pool?
I'm gonna roll for it.
Yeah, you go ahead and roll for it.
I don't have the confidence to make this decision on my own. I'll just do a coin flip. Hold on, it's coming through. Okay, two's different. He'll go to a different pool.
Excellent. So you guys aren't subjected to Shivers' a pretty disgusting sword getting a bath right next to you guys. Unless there's any conversation you'd like to have, we can go ahead and skip to the evening. You guys...
Jenny's currently taking her dogs
Oh,
out.
crap! I didn't realize she's taking her dog for a bio break.
Do we
So
not
even
have a mini break?
Bio break.
So we could probably, unless we want a bio break, we could probably fast forward to the next morning.
Probably.
Kinda
Yeah,
works.
we can just kind of go ahead and fast forward. You guys are able to find camping spots for the evening. Joran, you have your tent here. You have like a place that you can stay. And early in the morning, you guys are kind of led to the edges of camp, where you can see a caravan has been set up with a cart, several boxes behind the cart, and a very excited looking Sabine, who is like dressed in like a traveling coat. She's got like goggles on her head, and she's writing furiously in a notepad.
Ready to head out?
Oh, yes. Hi, you guys are back. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear about everything. You gotta tell me everything. You guys are all alive too. You lived. I heard a little bit about what you guys went through, but I definitely want to hear all of it. And she like just kind of like pops up onto the the cart, which is being pulled by an unfamiliar, not your donkey, but just a donkey that they have, ready to head out for the road.
Head out?
So,
Does anybody want to regale her with your tales of the very fun, not at all awful mine that you guys get from?
Karen's gonna leave that to Joran.
So she gets voluntold to have to answer all the questions.
Yeah, you get yeah, she does like kind of scoot, and I don't know where you guys are, like if you're walking alongside the cart as you guys kind of make your way.
Yeah, Joran's walking.
Yeah, I'm not putting a donkey through having to carry boxes, a cart, a girl, and a party of adults. We're walking next to that poor donkey.
Hell no.
That's fair. She will
I,
kind of
out of character, feel bad for that donkey.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's I say it's like a donkey. It's more of like a mule. It's a larger beast of burden that can pull a large like it can pull the same amount of that a large animal can. It's not just like a little mini donkey. It's a pretty strong. It's one of their stronger beasts of burden. But
Deal.
yeah, and I mean Sabine is the one driving the cart, so she's like, and she is probably the lightest person in your party. She's pretty short, very thin frame, not at all a fighter. She's a skinny ass little nerd.
5
She's
foot
fine.
nothing.
Yeah, 5 foot nothing. If the things that are probably the heaviest are the boxes, but you guys aren't quite sure what's in them, so. But yeah, she kind of looks very excitedly, specifically to you, Joran, as you guys are traveling, like, please tell me, please tell me, please tell me.
I think Joran waits to get it dragged out by questions, but she would give the same watered down version that they gave to Victorie.
So you guys did find even more than what we saw, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think you would have remembered if we saw the giant oozes that fell from the ceiling.
I mean,
Or the ones made of mouths.
that, yeah. I mean, that's not ideal. She was quickly, like, writing down in her notebook. Okay, yes, that sounds terrifying, but at the same time,
Or the one
sentient
that
oozes,
ate our-
why is ooze...
Or the ones that ate our friend's memory and sent him running.
Right, yeah, that is, also terrifying, but, I mean, the implications of what that is capable of, that's not any normal kind of beast or monster that can do that. Oh, I bet it was, and she's, like, going off about magical theory and just writing furiously, and she actually asks for quite a bit of detail about the monsters, and is, like, throwing theories around, throwing ideas like, oh, maybe it's linked to the corruption you mentioned, and she's just going off. She's having a grand old time. But, what happened after you guys killed it? What happened afterward?
I don't know, it died.
And did anything cool happen? Was there like I don't know, like a magic, like, poof? Did it like come back to life?
Did your dad tell you about the ghost that I told Victorie about?
Yeah. I
The one
mean, you might have mentioned it a little bit.
It
You
literally
eavesdropping, weren't you?
it literally ate the magic.
So there's nothing there anymore?
Nope.
See her face kind of falls. Right. Well, that's really good information. No. It's unfortunate that it's not there anymore, but you know, it's
Should I make a deception check?
you should absolutely make one. Because she's kind of taken a moment to like try and read you. Like, is this really?
That's a 9.
Ooh.
That's a
Let me
bad
roll for
roll.
her.
That's a bad roll.
That's a natural 4.
That's a natural 4 for a total of 9.
Let me roll for Sabine. Sorry, give me one moment. I have her sheet right here. Just switch to whisper. So let me. Insight is wisdom, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
She gives you a long look as you say that, Kieran. And that spark kind of comes back. It's still there, isn't it? No, you guys couldn't have gotten rid of it. There's no way. It just doesn't disappear like that. I mean, maybe you got rid of the corruption, but it's still part of a ley line. It might just be kind of, well, dormant is the way I've heard it. I mean, whatever happened didn't really... I mean, I don't imagine there's one way to seal everything up forever and ever. Maybe you guys found an anomaly and it's coming back. I don't have to keep looking, keep doing research. And she's back to writing in her notes.
Jordan's like shaking her head as soon as Sabine's kind of buried back in her book.
Do we see anything on the road as we go? Another caravan, maybe?
Yes.
Bull.
Welcome back, Keone. We're on the road going to Barren Sands. We skipped ahead a little bit. So yes, those keeping an eye out on the road, go ahead and make some perception checks.
I would say that Oz would probably be circling. Should I make a separate one for him as well?
Sure, you may. Yeah.
No
dang.
further perception checks needed.
Keen
Yeah.
lazy.
I'm going for it anyway.
Maisie with a natural 20.
I'll do it, but
because
like
West.
a full
Listen.
6.
Jasminder's looking backwards.
She's braiding her hair and spraying on perfume.
Where'd you get that?
Do we see a circus man doing juggling in the distance?
You do start to
Doing decent
hear...
juggling?
Yeah, no, you guys do start to hear, I guess, would they start to hear music, Rook, coming from your caravan?
Yeah, Brooke is still playing the lute.
Yeah,
Sitting up in like the old man from.
Anyone else hear
Hello?
music?
No,
Shivers would hear.
it.
Yeah, and as she points it out, you guys can hear and see another list caravan, a cart and a number of individuals traveling on the road. One you can see from a distance off is dressed in very brightly colored clothes. Oh, you're
cut
yeah,
out.
you're cutting
You're
out.
just a straight up robot.
Oh,
Speak to us, Cody. Come back.
Baby, come back.
no.
Oh, we heard you a little bit with that.
No.
We're getting robotic. Oh no.
Try
All the
dropping
time.
and try
No.
dropping and rejoining.
Of all the damn times.
I know.
Mhm.
So sometimes Discord just shits
Yeah.
a brick.
Yeah, Discord has decided to die.
Hello?
Cody?
On the
Rook?
Give it a moment. Russia may be hacking the phone. It happens to me all the time.
Oh.
we heard you a little
Hello?
bit.
A
We're
little
kinda
bit.
getting you
Hello.
If you can
Hello?
hear us.
Oh, there you are.
once, twice.
You are. You actually sounded clear there.
I don't think you can hear us.
Oh
Weird.
no.
Uh-oh.
I can.
It's just delayed.
Oof.
God, of all the times.
Yeah, I can hear you.
There we
Okay.
go.
Oh, hey, there you are.
You're just on a little bit of a delay.
I don't know if it's even delayed. If at all.
Yeah, go ahead and you can describe Rook for the party.
Can you hear me clearly?
That
Yes,
sounded
but
a
you're
little
very
better.
quiet.
We heard that part clearly.
Weird. Okay.
See,
There you go.
Now, yeah, now you're coming back.
Just let him talk quickly while it's working.
Yes.
Yeah, go.
So Rook is a sandy, well actually not even sandy, just a light, very light blonde, kind of dirty towards the roots, haired man with piercings on his lips and his nose and his ears and his eyebrow, with a light dusting of stubble along his chin and a little bit of more grown, along his jaw and more growth on his chin. He's wearing brightly colored clothing, at the moment, with poofy sleeves, on his upper arm and, leather little guards on his forearm, and striped pantaloons, with knee-high boots. He's also wearing a vest with a light purple color with gold trim to it. The wagon itself is a covered wagon with cloth sidings and a top that is colored in various fabrics.
Yeah, and it looks like you guys are kind of headed in the same direction, but coming from like kind of different diverging roads. You guys have been on the party. You guys have been on the road for probably about a part of a day. It's kind of almost crossing over into evening, or about to, rather.
You said it's evening. We're getting
Or
to
close to.
evening. Okay.
Probably sunset within the next hour or so.
Maybe we go toward the music. Maybe people with good food and conversation. I don't know.
Well, worst case scenario, more eyes to keep on the desert at night.
That kind of noise are gonna attract bandits in the area, though.
But it's good music. For the most part.
Pretty decent.
Well, that's more eyes. I mean, there's more in case something does come up.
Jasminder is like walking backwards toward the caravan and still like talking to the group. Like, we should just, check it out for a bit.
We're assuming they're friendly.
And heard it.
Oh,
We've dealt with worse.
I never assume that, Jordan. And he's already taking the short bow off of his back and getting an arrow ready as Jasminder turns to approach them or call out to them.
Can't have an arrow out. That's threatening.
Regarding a part
Yeah.
appropriate.
I'm literally a bodyguard for the next couple days, and he just like points a thumb up at Sabine.
I mean, I think they seem friendly. It's kind of nice to have some music around, you know?
Yeah, but just in case, just in case, go for it.
Be careful. You're just like Asher. And she kind of like...
You mean
keeps
your
the-
dad?
Yeah, well, when I'm mad at him, I call him Asher. So... she just kind of says that last part quietly under her breath and goes forward.
Remember the last time we encountered random people in the middle of the road, Sabine?
That gives her pause, and she kind of looks back at you. No, I know. You're not wrong, but I mean, you know, we're a little more prepared this time around, right?
Just humor me and a little caution, please.
Yeah, go for it, Jazzbender. Just be careful.
Okay. We'll be
The right
careful.
Maybe threatening people get to the back, so if they are nice, they don't feel like we're the bad one.
Jordan's a little puffy about it, but she'll slow down so she takes up the rear of the caravan.
Yeah, Karen will do the same.
Yeah. Your caravans do eventually meet. Rook, you see the party in all of their glory. You also see, kind of seated at the, main cart, which is kind of loaded up with what look like supply boxes. A young woman, teenage, you gather, are kind of late teens, thick, coily, dark hair, dark skin, bright brown eyes. You can see she's dressed in traveling leathers. She's got a book that she's clearly been writing in quite furiously, and the goggles on her head. It looks very friendly demeanor as she kind of waves to your group, immediately throwing Joran's caution to the wind as, new people. Exciting.
She tried.
She did.
Rook will say, whoa, let's go ahead and stop for a second here. Bishop, calm down.
Your Axbeak is
Whoa.
not really,
Like,
like, trusting. Axbeaks in general, you know, are some of the trickier beasts of burden. They can be some of the fastest transportation possible, but also the most difficult to train and kind of utilize as much as you would like. It behaves when it feels like it.
Jasminder will like to. I think Sabine tried to run towards him, right?
I mean, she was just kind of at the front of the cart, and your guys' carts are kind of like meeting at like a conjunction of a road that's kind of coming together to the main road, towards Barren Sands.
Okay, I thought Sabine had jumped off. It is like barreling toward the axe. Like, no, let's not do that.
No,
Yeah,
it sounds more
well-
like she was waving from the top of the cart.
Yeah, and she'll kind of slow at seeing the Axbeak, so the donkey mule doesn't get too frightened.
I got 22 for stopping Bishop.
What was that? I think you cut out a little bit.
He got a 22 for calming
Oh.
Bishop. That
22.
animal
Yeah,
had a-
no, like magic, this, very stubborn beast just kind of calms almost immediately as you kind of give a gentle leading hand.
I also want to mention that Bishop is a very flamboyant looking Axbeak, as Rook has dyed a lot of the feathers along their tail and has gotten big feathers that look like they don't come from an Axbeak originally and laced them into the harness and saddle and everything for Bishop to make them look fancy and colorful as well.
Please tell me this is just a chocobo, please.
It is. It sounds like a chocobo. It's
It's a chocobo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's got rainbow tail feathers going, and the rest of it is just variations of color throughout.
Great big chicken.
I love
It's a
that.
fried chocobo.
Pride chocobo! That's amazing.
But he after he gets the axe to stop, he gets Bishop to stop.
Yeah,
He
it'll
walks
do
over.
some.
He puts himself between the people on his wagon and this new caravan of folks, making his way over there. Not intimidatingly, but he's doing it. He's like putting himself bodily between them, and he says, "Hey there, it's nice to see some friendly folks on the road."
Just hoping we're also meeting friendly folk, I suppose.
Well, I'm just a bard myself, but I do have company traveling along with me. And he gestures to the older man sitting on the driver's seat.
Yeah, the rest of you see.
We'll introduce like the people.
Yeah, a family of 3, the older couple and a child of about 5. And you also see a kind of older man, people that probably shouldn't be traveling alone and choose to travel with other people on the road just in the name of safety. But
I don't know. That one looks like he could attack at any time. And she points to the child.
Oh, he does have a wicked little slingshot.
yeah, I'm tough. And the little kid like pipes up.
Adorable.
Uh,
Jasminder will feign scared of the child.
Despite himself, you hear a
Brooke says-
chuckle from behind the behind our caravan, as Kiri can't help but chuckle at this small child being a small child.
Rook says, if you're not too terribly intimidated by our dear bodyguard here, we were going to set up camp for the night here soon. If you wanted to join us,
If
we
you
could
don't mind.
share a fire and, well, yes. I don't mind at all. It's always good to have company on the road.
I mean, I don't see why we can't, have some nice people join us for the evening. Sabine directs us back towards the group, like with the pretty please look on her face.
I do have a barrel of ale on the wagon as well.
Kira's on board now.
Sabine's the boss here.
Yeah.
She wants to stay.
She straightens her back and says, I think that will be very nice to have company for the evening.
And kid, we gotta from the back, and we have to follow you. So.
Yes, you do. And I'm saying that we're making friends for tonight.
You don't get any ale.
What?
How do the other people on the other caravan look? Like the normal people? Or are they just like chilling, waiting for the conversation to end? Or are they like eyeing us at all?
They're giving you some like glance over, kind of like they're not quite sure. Like you guys might be convinced of their lack of danger, but they're not quite convinced of yours.
Well,
make a perception check for me, Joran.
We are totally weaponed up out here.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
We are actively
It's a
weaponed
17.
mercenaries, and they are normal people.
With the 17, you see the older gentleman, not the father, who seems to be about middle age. This man's probably a little older, 60s, 70s. His eyes have not left you with a very suspicious, cautious look, and he doesn't seem all that thrilled at the prospect of being buddies and being friends for the evening. He definitely seems wary of you.
Jasmine's just gonna make a show of taking off her weapons and just laying them on the caravan.
Can I make an insight check into that guy?
You may. And Cody, what were you keeping an eye out for?
I'll use persuasion, not perception.
Persuasion. My bad. Sorry, I can't read.
He's just like, going over to his buddy. And he's like, don't worry about them. They're probably fine. I think I have a pretty good read on people.
I
And if they're not, we'll all carry them like that last group.
mean, it seems to give him a little, like, he relaxes just a little bit, but he kind of keeps his gaze fixed on the Dragonborn. Are you sure about this? That one looks... I can't really trust those folk.
Well, who can you trust, really? We just have to be on guard and don't worry. I'll keep an eye out.
Hmm. Fair enough. Just don't ask me to be all friendly buddy-buddy with her.
I'm not gonna have to ask you that, but the ale might change your mind.
We'll see.
Rook, we'll have to go back to the other new people. And I'll say, I'm terribly sorry I've introduced my companions, but not myself. I'm Rook. I'm a traveling bard by trade.
I'm Jasminder. I don't really do much by trade. I don't know what I've been doing as of late at all. Hi.
Great.
Hi, I'm Sabine. They're taking me to Barren's hands. So...
We're on our way there.
Oh, that's nice. That's kind of a popular place to be. I've been there in about a month. I'm excited to go back.
Right. He looks to the others, and just waiting for introductions.
Shivers away. Hello there.
Hello.
I'm Shivers. I'm Miss Jasminder's bodyguard.
Oh, all right.
To resist my body.
Nice to meet you.
Shivers will like shake
Whoa,
his head.
it's like bodyguardception. Because
That's
you're
not
her
a thing.
you're her bodyguard and you guys are my bodyguards.
Kieran will put the arrow back into his quiver, just come out from behind their cart. Kieran. Also a bodyguard, technically, I guess.
All right. Nice to meet you.
Savine will, like, kind of, like, give Maisie and Jordan a look like, come on.
I don't know whose turn it is to speak.
There you go, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm Maisie. I'm a patcher. Speaking of which, any of your folk need patching?
No, thankfully.
That's good.
We only had a brief run-in on the road earlier, but I was able to deal with it without too much trouble.
Good. Might want to keep that in mind before you go talking mean to one of our folks. She's gonna say it's pointedly to the old man.
The old man is like, looks like really like confused and suspicious, like, who the fuck? Who the fuck is this bitch?
I'm a patcher, that's who it is. So if you fall over keel, I'm gonna be the one who has to help your ass.
Jordan, I don't think you're getting out of this without introducing yourself.
Nope,
Sabine staring right at you.
she is.
We're all staring at you.
Well, she was pausing after that yell because she's like, she's not shrinking away from the attention. She's used to those kind of stares, but it's mostly just that, like, you know, trying not to actively agitate it because she doesn't want to deal with it. So when everyone turns to look at her, like, she's still in the back of the caravan, kind of keeping it mostly between her and the others, and she's just Joran.
Jordan, you would also notice the father, the middle-aged man, kind of pull his son a little closer into the cart.
I think the ones that are kind of right around her can probably see, like, her nose scrunches a bit and she looks away.
Right, well, camp, right?
Protect Joran from racists.
Jasminder doesn't just fight people, but I want to just fight someone. I want to just punch a civilian in the face.
Kieran wants to rob them and get caught robbing them so they realize that the humans are just as bad as any other race. But, you know.
Scary dragon people.
I love how y'all are like, these people are actively trying to kill us, but let's leave them alive. the people make some shitty comments. You're like, murder.
We don't
Yeah.
stand for racists.
So- Oh, what was that, Cody?
Which one was making racist comments?
No,
The older
comments yet,
the
but,
older
the
man,
older-
or the eldest
Oh.
man, which you know is the grandfather of this family, and the father isn't outwardly like making comments or anything. He just kind of pulled the son a little closer to the cart because of the 7-foot
We
tall,
got straight
very
racism and
very
microaggression.
muscled, very armed dragonborn, and really just not quite as openly trusting, which isn't a terrible offense given how dangerous these parts are. But
It's not even necessarily a racial thing. But
yeah,
it's
it is
thing.
also like
It is-
the size. Joran's maul is the size of this child.
Hell yeah.
Only the child.
Only the child. Really, the child and the mom, like, with the child standing on the mom's shoulders.
Well, see, that's why she's intentionally staying, like, so that their caravan, like, the party's, like, cart is between her and their caravan so that they see there is a physical object keeping her from running at them if that's what they're imagining her doing.
Well, I'm gonna start setting up camp if anybody would like to help. I don't know what you've on your wagon for setting it, but I've got some firewood and a tent and start getting ready for the evening.
I can help. I've got some lightly singed blankets.
I assume that we loaded up on things like
Yeah.
camping supplies at
Yeah.
the base camp, so yeah.
I'll say,
Uh,
yeah, with how much gold you dropped, and Victorie at some point would have been accommodating
How much gold did
to.
you drop?
Not a
You
lot.
thought you
How
were
much
there?
gold did you drop?
You gone!
Shivers dropped all of his gold on the scale,
Again.
but that was it.
He got mega ripped off!
We didn't. He didn't buy any camping supplies, but it is a nice scabbard and it is clean. And
Kieran
that's all that
got-
matters.
Kieran got slightly overcharged for some arrows, but that's because out of character, I know how much arrows cost, and in character, my character doesn't have amnesia.
I
Um,
tried to
drop?
help haggle. It did not work.
it worked a little!
Well, it worked a little, but she doesn't have a concept of how much it should cost, and clearly Shivers did not either.
But, but yeah,
20 gold.
Kieran will quietly, without really saying much, go about helping set up camp.
Person tent out of his wagon. Some people can sleep in the wagon as well, but I imagine the mother and child have been sleeping in the wagon, and the immediate parents and the child were sleeping in the wagon, and then Rook and the grandfather were sharing the 2% tent.
Mm-hmm.
But he's setting up the 2% tent. He lays out a couple blankets that look like they're coarsely woven and made just for being out on the ground. And they're like 10-foot by 10-foot blankets. So he lays those out, gets some firewood, sets it up in a little spot after digging out a little bit of the sand to make room. He actually looks over to Doran and he says, "You look really strong. Would you mind helping me move this barrel of ale and there's like a 20-gallon barrel of ale in the wagon. They just kind of move around to make it easier to access the spigot.
She'll takes her a second, but she'll swing her maul down, rest it by their cart so that nobody freaks out when she walks over, and she'll just, without really giving a verbal response, she comes over and takes it up as he directs her to.
And Rook, as he's doing that, he like glances at the kid to see if the kid is watching curiously, because he expects they are, and that's why he called them over.
Definitely.
And he'll just have them pull it out to the edge of the wagon so that we can get mugs of ale going. And he says, I've only got 5 tankards, so hopefully you've got some yourselves.
Probably.
Between flasks
but,
and stuff, I think you guys would be okay.
Everybody's got a water skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've also got water if anybody would prefer. And he takes out stuff for camp and sets out next to the fire after lighting it, and takes out his loot, and he says, I don't know if all of you are particularly interested in the bardic arts, but I could give you all a tale if you'd like.
I mean,
Yeah, of course.
Sure, I
And
reckon.
Rook will start playing in the lute.
I don't have a loot soundtrack thing. Fuck. This is maybe the closest I could.
Doesn't this already have strings playing in it?
This one's kind of close, I guess.
Jasminder is also gonna be monitoring Sabine.
Sabine!
No ale.
Come on, please, just like one tank. Please, let one drink. Come on, please, my dad's not here. He'll never know.
You can have half
How-
a water skin. That's it.
She takes it.
Sabine look?
She looks about 18. Somewhere 18, 19, late teens.
As Rook is playing, I'm just going to tell you the story because I don't have it like written out in verses or anything. But he's doing this sort of the whole bardic thing where it's kind of like they're singing, but it's really storytelling. And he goes into this story, this tale about a woman who is kind of reputed to be a man killer. And it's a story that is warning people against abusing their significant other or treating them poorly. As it goes into this tale about this woman who worked at a bar as a barmaid, and we'd always hear tales or see people abusing their significant others, either verbally or actually hitting them, and would poison them. And they would end up dying later with this slow-acting poison, and they would die in a horrific manner. And they became this sort of living legend of somebody who would come and get you, or somebody that would poison your drink if you acted out against your significant other. And it was sort of just a warning tale. But it's weirdly upbeat and happy for the content of the story itself.
We love that. We love that. The entire time that Rook is playing and into the night, Kieran is keeping an eye on the surrounding area just so that they don't get jumped by nighttime bandits.
Shivers listen to the story, and then he, like, after the story, he's just gonna sit down and think about it really hard. Like, really hard. This might be the only thing he's thinking about for the next, like, 3 hours.
But
Okay.
after the tale, he's just going to be strumming a bit on the lute and kind of just watching people as they like talk amongst themselves, or if anybody approaches him, and uh, he'll mention as it's getting once it gets closer to being dark that he'll offer to take first watch if people are comfortable with it.
Jasminder will fill half a water skin up, and that is Sabine. Oh wait, that is all you're allowed.
She
Oh.
beams and takes it and starts drinking. She takes a drink and she immediately makes a face of like your face kind of like your nose scrunches and she looks like,
Good.
oh, that was not
Small
what I was
child becomes
expecting.
aware that alcohol tastes like dog shit.
Basically,
I should probably mention it's Honeydale.
Honey Ale, she's still not used to
Good.
the feeling of
still-
oh, yeah.
alcohol. It's still alcohol.
It's still got that beery taste underneath the honey that should probably makes her like.
Yeah,
Does she make
Expecting it
it?
to taste good. Takes one bite. It's like.
yeah.
Does she make it through any of it?
She makes it through quite a bit because I mean it's the thrill of Dad's not here. I can sneak a beer.
What's her What's the scope on her? Does she have like? Is she like Kiani alcohol tolerant, or is she like making it?
That's a great.
Here.
Let me make a
Because
quick.
there was no need.
There was no need for that call out, but oh god, did it happen?
She rolled a 13. She's holding it okay. It doesn't really
You're being
hit her that
beaten
hard.
You're being beaten by a desert starved 18-year-old.
I'll have you know. I can hold it.
Mhm.
I can hold my liquor.
Yeah, can you?
love
Miss,
beer.
I have one soju and I'm dying.
Soju is really strong.
If Rook volunteers to take first watch, then Kieran will take second watch.
Jordan can take the last then.
I was about. Alright, I'm joining you, Jaren. I was gonna offer.
All right. So yeah, go ahead and for the first watch, make a perception check.
Oh no, Cody's muted. He might have had to step away.
Oh no.
Oh, nope, that's
He's watching.
there we go. 25.
Rook
Wow.
sees all. No. um. Sorry, I was. Do you want? Was it you were commenting the last song you felt like was the good camping music that I was just on?
No, it was the
The music you're playing in the background. That's what my message was about.
Just all the music is fine.
Okay. Got distracted. Throughout the night, it's pretty quiet. It doesn't seem like immediately your music has drawn in anything other really than some stray like lizards and just some little critters throughout the night who aren't used to the sounds of music. But the second that they see you, they're kind of warded off by the amount of people. You guys have a light going. You clearly have somebody on watch, a number of armed individuals. Any kind of noise you hear is muted. Things are quiet. It's pretty quiet evening. Your watch passes without really any issue.
Lovely. Rick will go and find the next person for watch to wake them up.
You wake up Kieran.
Kieran will awake. He's made sure that Sabine is sleeping in a tent, and that he or Joran or both are outside that tent at all times.
I was gonna say Joran would not have voluntarily taken a tent while we have this other caravan here.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Kieran would definitely make sure of those two things, because literally their job is to protect this child, and this is a literal child.
Yeah, you guys are, you guys kind of, I imagine, form like a protective formation of like Sabine in the tent, and then a number of you guys stationed like just outside the entrance to the tent, or like on different sides of the tent, so that you guys kind of have it like surrounded on all angles in a protective formation. So.
Yeah. So he will take his watch. I'm assuming you want a perception check.
Yes.
Rook also would have suggested using the wagons as a wall to face the tents towards, and use them to kind of be a way of making sure nobody can just slip past on the dark side of the tents.
Oh yeah, I imagine the wagons are set up in like a V formation with the tents up against them on the inside of the V.
Yeah.
And the
and
campfire's in the middle of that V. But yeah, 16.
Okay. Keep it short. Yeah. It's a pretty quiet evening. Between the numbers and everything, you guys are able to kind of keep away any of the more minor threats that might just be wandering around. You gather most of the like more dangerous wildlife aren't going to go for big groups as much as they're going for lone individuals that are easy to pick off. And you guys are not that. So it passes pretty quietly, pretty like just I don't know, quiet night.
Towards the end of his watch, he will wake up Joran and or Maisie and let them wake up or finish out the night and try to get a few more hours sleep.
Yeah, Joran the whole time, once they've settled down to start resting, she's got her sheathed dagger that she kind of keeps a hand on and rests it kind of inside her arm, so it's within her grasp the whole time, even while she's kind of wherever she's propped up sleeping. So when Kieran wakes her up, she'll go and she'll find a spot that's kind of overlooking the group, but not necessarily within it, so that she can kind of keep an eye on all their surroundings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can definitely find a spot like that, and then you can choose to wake up Maisie or have a dual watch again, which you guys can either roll separately then or roll with advantage.
Do you?
I will take advantage on that, I guess. Let's try it.
Alrighty.
As a 15.
You notice a shadow in the skies that you kind of immediately clock as Os going for some midnight snacking.
Hungry boy.
He is looking for a good old meal.
Journal, clock that. And is Maisie hanging out nearby, or did she find a different spot? So when
keep close.
Yeah, when Joran sees that Os is up and hunting, she'll kind of point out his shadow and be like, "If you keep an eye on him, I'll see what I mean about his hunting habits there."
Is that right?
Yeah. I imagine at some point, whenever Os has found the thing, as bearded vultures are wont to do, they swoop down, grab him, and fly straight up so they can drop the thing straight down to the ground.
Yep. And you see I will say finds a normal sized coyote. Not one of the dire ones, but just like a regular sized, kind of weak looking one, kind of sickly. Gather it's at the end of its life. Just get yoinked, pulled up, and dropped, and there's a kind of distant howling before silence.
Jordan will check over her shoulder quickly to make sure it didn't disturb anyone in sight at the camp. Before she's like, enjoying watching the bird.
There's a few stirring, but I don't think it's far enough off that it doesn't immediately like alert everybody to like screaming animal noises.
Imagine it's just us trying to eat breakfast, and the party wakes up to watch the bird.
It just drops breakfast in the middle of the party.
I mean, I don't think anyone wants to eat sickly coyote.
No.
But if it had been a meatier creature, it's like, that's just a waste. We could have eaten the rest of it, and then you could have had the bones afterwards. Boss, but thanks, sure, eat that.
Oh, what a mental image. That's great, actually. Because he does some hunting throughout the night. Let me just, for my own amusement, roll to see. No, that's his only catch for the night.
I think it was like a whole coyote.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It was yeah. Not the probably best quality meat, but he's a bearded vulture. He doesn't really.
Meat,
yeah,
he
he's
eats
about
the bone.
those. He's about those
Yeah.
bones.
He eats carrion. It really ain't about quality.
Oh
But
yeah.
that's why it's such a
It's
good
just wants,
symbiotic
brunch.
relationship, though, because Joran hunts and she gets the meat, and he can have the bones. They don't eat each other's food.
Exactly. It's a balance.
Can I ask where you found him? Or did he just come along?
A little of both. I don't know. Was still wandering the desert, and is a hatchling. And with as most tend to do, if they figure out that you're a good source of food, they tend to follow you around.
So you're telling me he chose you as his buddy? Is that it?
Oh, something like that. I saw the bird once and got curious, so I went to watch it for a while, and I don't know, he was in the area one next night when I was hunting, and spare you the gory details, but he kind of likes the bits that we don't eat out of a carcass, so it worked well for him. And I just, from there, found out that following me means that he gets more things to eat that he really had to work for, and just, I don't know.
I reckon I can understand that. She'll just kind of look down to Stitches, who I imagine, again, she like lets out, just kind of out and about.
Yeah. Stitches is a little more active tonight. Probably just like prowling around the camp. Definitely kind of in a chipper mood since having her leg healed.
Now don't you go nowhere too far, you little Tish.
She immediately gets distracted by a moth that was like kind of coming towards the camp around the campfire. It isn't like around the campfire, but it's like just been drawn in by the lights from camp and stuff, and is just she's trying so hard. Let me roll a d20 to see if she can catch moth.
I was gonna say, the chat reminds me, is the carp bird over there.
Oh.
Watching.
As you watch, that's a great question. So as you watch Stitches catch the moth in her paws and like kind of go to like sniff it, you hear a number of disgruntled axe beak noises as you can see Bishop is trying to kind of fight against his he's been like kind of tied up for the night, I imagine, but is trying to break free to get to the tiny creature now trying to scamper away at the noises. She's been spotted.
Now don't you go and start trying to fight Stitches too, I swear.
I don't know what noise an axe beak makes.
be real in my head.
I swear, if this turns into me just doing a cross-dune tour of me having to fight different animals, I swear I'll do it.
You just have to fight different predator birds, different birds of prey over your cat.
Angry
to
quack.
be fair, we have only encountered birds between us and now the Axbeak. Joran does look over at the ruckus the Axbeak is making, and she's gonna give like a little growl and show some teeth, kind of like she did to Oss, and see if that gets the Axbeak to kind of calm down a bit, or at least forget the kitten a little bit.
Yeah, make an animal handling check, I guess.
Animal handling? Sure. Where is that? Make sure.
The traveling menagerie. As you guys are becoming.
21.
It immediately kind of backs off, a bit distracted, like I am, dealing with my cat, who I forgot to shut out for the evening.
Method acting.
Method
It was
acting.
animal time, yeah.
Yeah, it's animal time. And the Axbeak does kind of back off as you strike a rather intimidating figure.
Yeah, once it backs off, Joran just kind of she's back to watching the desert around them. That's kind of dealing with hungry, agitated birds is kind of her every day. So it's now that Stitches is not in danger of being a male, she's kind of already moved on.
Yeah, Stitches has immediately just kind of like, it getting spooked, has scampered back, tail all poofed up, and you can see the fur on like the spine is just like poof. She's all freaked out, and she just scampers back to you, Maisie, and like kind of ducks in between your legs, very nervously.
No. See, this is why I gotta be careful, not going too far. You wanna get into the pocket?
He gives a very like
Alright.
agitated meow.
Alright, come here, come on. She'll like offer a hand down for Stitches to climb up if they want.
Yeah, she uses you like a scratching post. Which, you're wearing a jacket. You don't get your arm just turned into shredded meat, but I was like, good call.
Listen, I made this specific for Stitches.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I imagine Bishop is a really they have a very big personality as a pride chocobo.
Oh, of course.
With their rain. And I'm just imagining that they just kind of huffed and then went back to sleep.
Oh, probably.
But now I'm also just thinking of the meme with the two arms clasped together, and it's Joran and Rook over having to deal with grumpy, hungry birds.
Yes.
Basically.
They are the hands clasped meme. That's perfect.
The best part about that is that Joran's arm is pretty much as big as both Arnold Schwarzenegger and that other guy's arm. And
Just both Joran.
Pretty much. That is very believable, actually.
Yeah.
But the rest of your watch passes without a hitch. And I forget who you had picked for the third and final watch.
That is the
I
third
think
watch.
we were the third watch.
Oh,
Was
that's
there-
right. Because
yeah,
I'm
Ewan was the second one.
I forgot
Rook
about
was the
Kieran's
first.
watch. I got distracted by the bird shenanigans that ensued.
So did we all.
So did we
Very
all.
good, that's fine.
But as we come up to morning, I'm gonna do a small break because my bladder is dying. So
Go piss, girl.
We have been playing for like 3 hours.
Oh!
Do we want to
For me.
keep going, or do we just want to call it there? Because I am getting a little tired. That coffee did not help things too much.
oh no.
Like it.
I have stuff for you if you guys wish to keep going, but I leave it completely up to you guys.
I'm down for whatever, but much like Danny, I also have to pee. So
Yeah, I will give you guys a few minutes to decide.
Because I live in the past.